So I shared my DNA results on TikTok and some very interesting things happened. One, I found out that I am no longer a Black American. Yes, I was told that Black Americans do not have African DNA. And because my ancestry came back sitting at an 86.4% African ancestry, I am an African. I am not a Black American, so I would be considered an African American. So there has been a clear separation within the community, and I'm here to let y'all know, if you have West African ancestry, you are not a Black American, okay? The Black Americans were already here, okay? They are the owners, they are the inhabitants of the land. They have already been here. Their ancestors did not go through slavery. Their ancestors did not experience colonization, and their ancestors have nothing to do with Africa. This is what I've learned. This is what I have come to the conclusion. By the way, I'm not offended to be African at all. Not offended at all. But I do have a couple of questions for you guys. So since you guys have made a clear separation and you are not a part of the African diaspora, my question is, who gets to claim the culture? Because it can't be you. Because the Black American, the African American culture that was built here in the United States was built by the descendants of Africans. And in fact, some of our most famous leaders who helped build the culture never made a separation or said that they have nothing to do with Africa. In fact, Frederick Douglass repeatedly referred to Black Americans as the descendants of Africans. W.E. Du Bois referred to us as part of the African diaspora. He centered Africa as the foundation to the Black identity. Marcus Garvey spoke of Black people globally as African people. His entire movement was built on African origin and pride. Malcolm X described Black Americans as Africans in America. Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth, identified as African descent. Even when we look at the Black church, it was built off of the African culture that was brought over here. Its spirituality, its dance can be tracked back to Africa. Our music, the culture that we built, derived from Africa. So if you guys don't claim that, then what is your culture? I would love to know.
The FBA people, I'm starting to think y'all are psychotic because y'all are also Trump supporters and Trump voters too. Because he's telling me that I don't look Black American. I am African, even though I'm telling him that I am Black American, African American. My grandparents go back multiple generations, were here. My grandmother said that we were Blackfoot Indian. However, when I did my ancestry DNA results, no native anything came up in my blood. I have 4% of Irish and Italian mixed together. And I'm happy about that. So that means the women in my family was not raped repeatedly over multiple generations. So I am proudly a dark-skinned African American woman. I am a descendant of slaves. You cannot be that, but I am. You do not tell me what and who I am. Y'all are insane. And so you mentioned I had on a filter. Okay, so the filter is off. Now what?
And my mom lied to me my whole life. Lie's a little bit of a mean word. I would say undereducated. As most of us are, as Black people, we are very undereducated about who we are. So, my whole life, my mom told me I was Native American and Black. My dad said we had a little Creole and Egyptian on his side. I was like, ooh, baby, saucy, makes me feel so important. So I went with that, you know. I personally felt like weird when, like, my friends would be like, oh, I'm German and Polish and Scottish. What are you? And then I would be like, I'm Black. And anytime any of them would ever ask me, which one of your parents are white? I would be like, none. I'm Black, Native American, Egyptian, and Creole. Okay. So fast forward, I finally got to see a picture of my great grandma. I'm gonna put a picture of Shorty up here. So I was like, Mom, Grandma's a little pasty. And she was like, no, I think she was German. I was like, okay. So I was like, I saw my uncle's 23andMe, which was kind of wild. I was like, I don't believe that. But I'm going to do my own. I'm going to compare, see if it's 0% Native American. 0, 0, 0, 0. The only thing they had on that map where the Americas were concerned was where my family was dropped the fuck off. Oh, and that Egypt shit, blank. None, boy. Now, my dad was on it with the Creole part, but what got me was the country matches of where trailers were absolutely present. Nigeria, Great Britain, and freaking Ireland, bro. Huh? Crazy. That stuff actually works. We took both. It was 23andMe and Ancestry. I like the fact that 23andMe allows you to look at country matches to see like definite findings of your family. It definitely reflected my uncles. It's crazy to think that like they were damn near biracial. Like the percentages were like that high. I was expecting like 1%, 5% white. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm like upset. Like it doesn't bother me. It kind of rocks your world when you thought you were one thing your whole life and now you're another.
Let me tell you guys something. As an African American woman, the best compliment, like I'm talking sends my ego through the roof, is when someone looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, you're African. Where are you from?" African people are beautiful. They're top tier. They're gorgeous. If only, I wish I knew. I mean, obviously I am, but I wish I knew where and when. I wish. So to be called a goddess in real life, it brings real joy to my face. Like, I literally almost kind of want to hit the Dougie every time somebody says to me, "Aren't you African? Are you African? Where are you from?" And I sadly have to go, "No, babe, I'm African American. I mean, I am, but like, I just don't know. But I'm going to find out because I really want to know."
Okay, y'all, I finally did it. I did my DNA test and I got my results back. This literally blew my mind. And the crazy part is I was not even going to do it because I'm Black American. Like, I know what I am. I know where we come from because my family is filled with like genealogists. My father really always did lineage work. So we know exactly where our European blood comes from. We know the plantations, like we know. So I'm like, what's the point of me doing this? But the crazy part is I kept feeling like I should do the freaking test. These results really blew my mind. This is why I encourage everybody to do your DNA. So first of all, off rip, I'm 40% Nigerian. Igbo to be exact. Don't play with me, okay? Yeah. So anytime I meet a Nigerian, because I moved to Texas and there was a lot of Nigerians in Texas. Anytime I meet Nigerians, they ask me off rip, am I Igbo? Like this comment, right? And I'm like, I don't know. Do the DNA test and I'm Igbo. But that's not even what shocked me. That shocked me, but that's not even what shocked me. I also found out that I am Jamaican. Yes, I'm Jamaican. Let's get into this results, and I'm gonna tell y'all the story time on how this really just pinned together a story that was told to us for a long time, but we had no evidence of. So let's get into it. Okay, so here are the results right here. I'm going to put it on the screen so y'all can see. I'm going to read it, okay? 86.4% African off rip. Ancestors did not play. They ain't play. Nigerian is 40%. Igbo. Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone. I believe these tribes were together or these countries were together at some time. I don't know. But it's 25%, okay? Guinea is 6%. Congolese and Southeast African, 14%. Angolian, and I believe Congolese is 13.4%. And European is 12.9%. As I told you, I already know. So this is where things get very interesting. I never met my grandfather. My mom's father was born in Mobile, Alabama. But he always told my mother that he is Jamaican. His mother's Jamaican. His father is Cuban. We never knew because my grandmother would tell my mom, "Oh, he's lying," whatever. She didn't really know. We never knew any of this history. My mom does a DNA test. She gets 2% Spanish. I do my DNA test and it pops up. We are Jamaican. Connects me to the Caribbean, Jamaican, St. Elizabeth to be exact. I'm going to show you a picture right here. This is why I'm like, this has just made me very emotional. It's made me like very happy, but it's like I never met my grandfather. Obviously, I have his DNA. We have a whole Caribbean side we don't know, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. Very emotional, but I'm so blessed. Shout out to the